So here we're gonna talk about the operation of this unit. Okay, so let me see. So as you see earlier, I showed you how I removed the covers and I told you about a lot of things about the operation. So now, as you see, this is blinking. We had just one harvest happen. So when the harvest happened, immediately the unit will flush whatever water was left from the last cycle. It will get fresh water, and remember, the water will fill till it satisfies the water probe sensor, which basically it will satisfy the control board. You see this when it's green, usually it just started the cycle. So remember, this water is gonna start icing up, and it will go lower, and at some point this water level light will turn off. Okay, when you have a blinking like that, it's a 3 4. If it's blinking like that, usually it's on ice mode. Okay, now as you see, the water is gonna start going down. So when the water goes down and this light goes off, the green one, the level, right, you see it, the water level, that's normal, that's healthy. If that light doesn't go off when the cycle is going on, that means the water is not sticking on the evaporator and icing. As I told you earlier, I have a demo evaporator. Basically, this is a bigger one for a bigger unit, but it's the same concept. So basically, what happened is the water, as you see, the pump is pushing the water into a water distributor, and they are going down. And usually they just shower this guy here all the time. And then remember, this is very cold. I would say between 5 and 15 degrees. And when the water start hitting this guy, it's gonna start sticking on it and forming ice and freezing immediately. And the more water we have coming, the more is gonna start, becoming thicker. And then, as I said earlier, the ice will become as thick as these guys here. You see, and the water level ice thickness probe will be satisfied at some point. So as you see here, if you are charging unit like this, technicians who want to know if you have a 404 Freon, right? And you have the, make sure you put it to 404. So if you have, I mean, this is really a healthy pressure, 200, anywhere between 200 240. And I would say, I remember the pressure changed so much. At the beginning of the cycle, you might be at, higher. A lot of things change. Like here, as you see here, this is the actual temperature inside the evaporator. So you see it's 13. Vapor saturated. I forgot the vibration, the abbreviation. But here also you see it's 95. This is the actual temperature inside the condenser. So the ice machine is a different animal. It's very different than air conditioning. So pressure can change a lot. And as you see now, we're going lower and lower. This is the actual temperature of the evaporator. That's similar, though it's not the same, of course. And here we have the superheat, 34, subcooling. I don't really think it's going to help a lot, because again, the temperature change a lot. And then don't forget, we have the bypass. That bypass can mess up the whole pressure when it happens. So we're gonna wait together, see how the harvest happens. So remember, when the harvest happened, it's all started with this guy here. The ice thickness probe will monitor. When the ice thickness become really good, immediately we send a signal to the control board. Now blinking is ice. Remember, steady red is harvest. Should not last more than 5 minutes. Usually it's between 1 minute to 3 minutes maximum. If the harvest didn't happen after 5 minutes, uh, I believe it's gonna do it again for 2 times. If the harvest take more than 5 minutes, it will stop. Same thing with the ice mode. If the ice mode after 1 hour it did not initiate, the probe did not sense ice thickness, it's gonna try another 2 times within 3 hours. If this guy doesn't sense thickness, it's gonna stop. So that's another issue with another story. But at least you have an idea as a restaurant owner. If you don't see harvest within an hour or so, you have a problem. So the level is still on. Basically, the water is gonna start sticking on the evaporator and building ice, and the water amount will diminish. And then this guy will shut off. I'll show you later. So now we start building ice, because look, it's 11 degrees inside the evaporator, right? And one thing that came to my mind, I like to help you guys in case you need to diagnose if the hot gas bypass solenoid valve is broken. When the harvest come, when the water probe thickness sends enough ice thickness, it will send a signal to control board. Control board will energize immediately this guy. When you hear that click, and usually when the harvest start, immediately this will open, the condenser fan will stop, the pump will stop, the water will be flushed. They all happen together. So if you put your hand here and you don't feel this bypass pipe going to the metering, after the metering device outlet, between the metering device outlet and the evaporator inlet, if this thing is not really hot, I mean, it doesn't hurt you, but you should feel really warm. If it's not, and you see there's power here and this is clicking, there's something wrong with it. That's just so you know, in case you have some suspicion that the hot gas bypass solenoid valve is broken. Okay, so now as we see, we're going to 9 degrees, which is really low. Now remember, this was like 230 earlier, so again everything changed after a while. So again, I'm gonna tell you one more time for a quick check, because I'm doing this for a long time. I can know by touching. If you touch this pipe here and you can't hold it for more than 5 seconds or 3 seconds, gonna hurt you. The compressor is running. They have enough freon. Same thing if you put your hand here and this guy is cold and sweating, as you see, that means there's enough freon. When you put your hand here, you see the air much warmer than if you put it here. Here is cooler. The compressor is working and there's enough freon in there. Okay, now if you put your hand here, is cool, and this guy is like room temperature, while the units should be calling for AC, and the compressor is running. You put your hand here, it's the same temperature here and there, and the fan is running. There's something wrong. Either the compressor has a problem or there's no freon. So we're gonna wait, and we're gonna watch another harvest together. Okay, so remember, this is low. Okay, I have different color. Usually should be blue, but I put, it's messed up in here. So this is low side. Usually goes to the blue, which is low, and this is high side. Okay, which goes to here. Now the probe goes to liquid line, which is here. I couldn't grab it; it's too small, so I had to grab it this way. And the other probe should go after the outlet of the evaporator, which is here. It's a little bit tough in here. Okay, so I put it here. You have to always put it at the outlet of the evaporator to check the superheat. Okay, remember, so this is a metering device here. See how it's usually freezes. So this is a metering device. It comes, the freon comes as 100% solid liquid after it's cooled from the condenser into the metering device, and the metering device will manage. It will send the freon. It goes from high pressure to low pressure. So imagine we're going from 200 12 to 40. So imagine like in the summertime when you use a deodorant for your like underarm, because that deodorant is compressed and it's under high pressure. When you, as soon as you press it, it goes from high pressure to low pressure. My microphone for now. And then because of that, you feel it's so cold, right? You feel like, wow, you feel your underarm is so cold. It's the same exact concept. The Freon goes from very high pressure into low pressure in a very, very, very small orifice in here. And that will cause all this, that will cause all kind of cooling. Okay? So, as I was telling you, the water start decreasing because a lot of them is becoming ice body inside here, same guy here, right? And then because of that, the water level will go down, and then the water levels light will turn off, which is very normal. Again, if this light don't turn off for a long time, usually the ice time is anywhere between 12 to 14 minutes, I believe, or so. Every unit is different. I believe this one should be like 13 minutes, 12, 13 minutes. But again, if the first 5, 6 minutes or 10 minutes didn't turn on, there's something, turn off, sorry, there's something wrong. So as I was telling you, the system will bring certain amount of water, let's say maybe 2 liters, and the water feeder will stop. It will say that's enough because the water probe level is already satisfied. It will tell the control board, hey, I have enough water. Control board will disengage the main solenoid automatic freshwater feeder, and that amount of water should be enough for the whole cycle. Now half of it depends how much. Imagine how much ice there is here. Maybe 2/3 of it will become ice. The other third will be later flushed outside the bucket because we're gonna go through another cycle. Okay? And one more time, the only time the curtain light will turn off and on only for a second when the ice. See now condenser fan stopped, as I told you immediately. The hot gas bypass is open. See, if I put my hand here now, I can feel it is hot. So that means it's working. If that thing open and the harvest coming and this is not really hot, there is something stuck in there. It's broken. Now again, remember, the only time that curtain light will turn off when the door open. Usually it's a second. And let me see the pressure. Wow. So see the pressure. How, as I was telling you, the pump will flush. The system will flush all the water outside. We don't need it anymore. And the pump stop. Now look at the pressure, how it's messed up, because now remember we have a bypass from high pressure to low pressure, so it's completely messed up. See, that used to be 220, now it's supposed to be 40. Now the pressure of the temperature of the evaporator is 44, which is really way warmer than 32. So that will cause the ice to melt, and then the temperature of the liquid line is also going lower. It's supposed to be higher. So that's how they mix the bypass from high to low. Okay, and so now we're gonna watch how the curtain will open when the ice fell. Now watch how this light is gonna turn on or off in a second, just to when the door open. Watch the curtain light. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, good. Okay, so this basically how this whole thing works. And yeah, I didn't see it, but I hope you saw this. The light turn off. Now again, the second cycle is gonna fill new water. Same thing to make sure it's gonna fill to the water level is satisfied. See, the water level is off because the water is so low. The compressor came on, as I told you, and then the condenser fan came on later because it has a pressure safety switch. Now we see we're building a new pressure now from 220 because this guy closed, the hot gas bypass closed. Now it's completely isolated. The high pressure, low pressure is completely separated. Basically, the main separation is the valve of the compressor, if you can follow with me. Okay, so I think that should be all what you need to know about this machine. I will figure out some other videos how to remove the pump, how to remove the curtain, and how to adjust the thickness, ice, and stuff. Okay, thanks for your time.